know the steps to draw the Bode plot. So to understand that, let us take this example for illustration purpose. The problem statement goes like this. Sketch the Bode plot for the open loop transfer function g of s h of s is equal to 20 divided by s into 1 plus 0.1 s, and obtain gain margin and phase margin, and also investigate the closed loop stability of the system. So in this problem, the open loop transfer function is given. We need to draw the Bode plot using the steps which are available to me. Then we need to analyze that Bode plot and find out what is the gain margin and phase margin, and from that then we can obtain the closed loop stability of the system. The first one is magnitude plot. So there are 4 steps available to draw the magnitude plot. We will see all 4 steps, and we take this numerics open loop transfer function and we will see how to do that. Now the first step is look at the open loop transfer function which is in the time constant form or not. Now gh of s is given it as 20 divided by s into 1 plus 0.1 s. Numerator I have gain and the denominator I have s into 1 plus 0.1 s, therefore it is in a standard form which is a time constant form. So we need not to change the transfer function, directly we can take the transfer function. So in the same step we need to identify corner frequencies. The corner frequencies mainly due to finite poles and finite zeros, and also due to quadratic factor in the numerator and denominator. So in this transfer function we have only finite pole, therefore we will get one corner frequency here. That corner frequency I can write omega c1 is 1 divided by 0.1. So that is going to be 10. So my corner frequency is 10. If you have more number of corner frequencies, arrange them in increasing order. So once the corner frequency is available, we need to assume lowest frequency, one frequency which is lesser than the lowest frequency, and one frequency which is higher than the highest frequency. So omega c1 is 10. Let us take omega l is 0.1. Generally we take 1 decade of 10, so in left side direction. Similarly omega h is again for 10, 1 decade is 100. So omega l is 0.1, omega c1 is 10 and omega h is 100. Now all that need is for these 3 frequencies what are the MdB values. Once you have MdB values, then we locate the points, then we can get the magnitude plot. Therefore this is a step 1, and go to the step 2 where we prepare the table. So in the table we know what are the columns. We have corner frequencies, the term and the slope at that particular term or particular corner frequency, and the change in slope or next slope. So the first term, the first row is always of the first term. What will be the first term here? The first term is 20 by s. We have 20 by s is the first term. Therefore I will take directly 20 by s, or else we can also write 20 by j omega. So anything is okay in this case, because we know even if you have s, we know how to write the slope. So there is a one pole in the denominator at origin, that to be. So what will the slope? Minus 20. The minus 20 is directly taken, which is s0. S0 is the initial slope. Now when it comes to the corner frequency omega c1, that is 10. At this corner frequency, what is the particular term? Is it finite pole or finite zero? So this is going to be finite pole, that is 1 by 1 plus 0.1 s or 0.1 j omega in terms of omega. Then what is the corresponding slope? So we have one pole in the denominator. So one pole means your n is going to be 1. It is pole, therefore minus, therefore it is going to be minus 20. What is s omega c1? S omega c1 is, we need to add these to s0 plus x1. Let us say this is x1 minus 20, minus 20 minus 20 is minus 40. So this is the table. With this table we can easily calculate what are the MdB values. Now in the step 3, we always calculate MdB, NdB at omega L and omega c1. So using omega L, omega c1, I am going to plot the initial slope. Therefore, always take the initial first term of the transfer function. What is the first term? G of g of s, let us say, or g1 of s, first term is 2 by s. So we have 20 by s. So this 20 by s is 20 by j omega. Therefore, what will be the MdB value? 20 log 20 minus 20 log omega. When you substitute omega is omega L, that is 0.1, then we will be getting it as minus 46 dB. And when omega is omega C1, that is 10, and then your MdB value is going to be 6 dB. So we have 46 dB and 6 dB for omega L and omega C1 MdB values. So the next is we need to calculate what is the MdB value at omega h, because omega L is over, omega L and omega C1 is over. Now we need to take omega h. We know the formula. MdB omega h is equal to slope at omega C1 log omega h divided by omega C1 plus MdB omega C1. So when you take here the s omega C1 is nothing but minus 40, therefore minus 40 log 100 by 10 plus we have already 6 dB. Then this is going to be minus we already have, this is going to be minus 44 dB. So all these three values are available. With these three values, then I can plot the magnitude plot. So what will be the magnitude plot? Then we have 3 points here. I can take 3 points as one is 0.1 and the other one is 10, the other one is 100. For these three frequencies, what are the MdB values? So I have MdB value here 46, then I have 6, then I have this value. Then you join these things. When you join these three, that is the magnitude plot. So after joining, we need to notice, we need to specify what is the corresponding slope. What is the corresponding slope of the first one? Minus 20 dB for. What is the corresponding slope for this? Minus 40 dB for decay. Therefore, there are only 2 dBs. So next is how to plot the phase angle. So for phase plot, we write the phase angle expression. The phase angle expression is, we have already have gs of s, I have s term in the denominator and 0.1 s. Therefore, for each s term there will be minus 90 degrees, and for this also we will get tan inverse term. So what is the phase angle? Minus 90 minus tan inverse 0.1 omega. So with this phase angle expression, I can prepare a table again. So in this table, I will take the omega values. Let us omega values starting from 0 to infinity. We cannot locate 0 and infinity, but we can have some idea. So when omega is 0, it is going to be minus 90. Omega is infinity, it is going to be minus 180 degrees. That means your phase plot will be between minus 90 and minus 180 degrees. So we can let us take some important points here. In between also we can calculate. Let us say it is 0.1, it is minus 90.5. Then when it is 1, it is going to be minus 95.7. Similarly, when it is 100, it is going to be minus 135. When it is 10, it is minus 135. When it is 100, it is going to be minus 174. Then if you increasing this value, it is approaching to minus 180 degrees. So with these values, even you can take more values in between as it is given here. Then we can plot the phase plot also. When you plot in the phase plot, let us take the phase angles in right side, appropriate scale. Then you will locate the points and draw the smooth curve. This smooth curve is the phase plot. Now magnitude plot is available and phase plot is available. So how to find the gain margin and phase margin? First we will find the gain margin. To find the gain margin, locate what is the phase crossover frequency. Phase crossover frequency is a frequency at which your phase plot crossing the minus 180 degrees. So when you look at this phase plot, it is in between minus 90 and minus 180 degrees. So it is not at all crossing minus 180 degrees. Therefore, so you don't get any omega PC. Therefore, there is no gain margin. So in this case, we can take the gain margin as infinity. As we know, for any second order system, the gain margin is always infinity. When you go back and refer to the root locus of this, all my poles will be lie in the left of the S-plane only. So root locus never cross the imaginary axis. For any value of k, we will have all the poles in the left of the S-plane, which means my gain margin is infinity. Then how to find the phase margin? To find the phase margin, find what is the omega GC, gain crossover frequency. Now if you look at here, my magnitude plot is crossing the 0 dB line here. So at this point it is crossing, and when you draw this onto the phase plot, and it is going to be around 142 degrees. So this is what the phi GC is. So this phi GC, then what will the phase margin? The phase margin is going to be 180 plus phi GC. This is minus 142. Therefore, your phase margin is going to be 38 degrees. Since the phase margin is positive, then we can say this particular system is stable. So we can look at here. This is minus 142 at this frequency, right? So from this spot, we can say that the gain margin is infinity and the phase margin is plus 38 degrees. My system is absolutely stable system in terms of the gain. The concept of gain margin and phase margin and the closed loop system stability, which is analyzed by the Bode plot and polar plot, are applicable for the system's open loop transfer function, which is minimum phase transfer function. We know what is minimum phase transfer function, where all my poles and zeros of the transfer function lie in the left half of the S-plane. So in your transfer function gs of h of s, all the poles and zeros, finite poles and finite zeros are in the left of the S-plane. Then only we can apply the concept of gain margin and phase margin to find the stability of the system. So gain margin, phase margin are invalid if at all if poles are zeros of open loop transfer function, finite poles and finite zeros, at least one which is lying in the right half of the S-plane. And Bode plot also uses gain margin, phase margin to find the stability. Even the polar plot also uses gain margin and phase margin concept to find the closed loop system stability. Therefore, we can say that to find gain margin and phase margin and to find the stability using Bode plot, to find stability using polar plot, the transfer function should be minimum phase transfer function, which is the open loop transfer function.